Good evening. On the world news tonight from BGI Television, Babak Bagede Imo TV. First, the headlines. Reps Speaker sends tough message to Tinubu, reveals ministers he should sack. Efcc traces 7 billion naira suspected fraud proceeds to religious body. Nigeria loses $3 billion annually to poor sanitation, FG. 200,000 naira minimum wage no longer realistic, Labour. Afenifere passes vote of confidence in Ade Banjo. Ondo Amotekun deploys 100 personnel to secure release of Ekiti pupils teachers. On sports, Super Eagles become top-ranked team after Morocco's exits. I am Morire Rabila Lawal, the news in detail. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, has urged President Bola Tinubu to take decisive action. He specifically told the President to remove underperforming ministers in a bid to address the ongoing security challenges facing the nation. During Tuesday's plenary session, Abbas emphasized the need for new strategies to tackle the pervasive insecurity that poses a threat to the nation's stability. Abbas expressed concern over the continuous escalation of security issues despite previous efforts. He emphasized the urgency of adopting fresh approaches, stating the threat of insurgency has severely tested the peace and stability of our country. Abbas mourned the recent tragic incidents, including the murders of Nabiha al-Qadiriya and Folorunsho Ario, the Plateau massacre and the blast in Oyo. In his plea to President, Abbas urged greater performance and accountability from service chiefs and security agencies. He stressed the importance of tough decisions and the potential need for changes within the security apparatus, emphasizing that the cost of inaction is far too great to bear. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Barrister Ola Olukoyede, has revealed the agency trades 7 billion naira suspected to be proceeds of fraud to religious organization. Speaking during a public engagement on youth, religion, and the fight against corruption, as well as the launch of the fraud risk assessment project for ministries, departments, and agencies, Olukoyede stated that the EFCC was investigating a 13 billion naira fraud case when it discovered 17 billion naira linked to a religious body. He added that the organization quickly obtained a restraining order to prevent the EFCC from inviting its leaders. Olukoyede further said the commission will not give up on the investigation as it is appealing the restraining order in order to recover the stolen funds. He further said another unnamed religious body was also linked to be laundering money for a terrorist group which has been killing and destroying Nigerians and Nigeria for a long time now. The EFCC chairman also revealed that since his assumption of office as the EFCC chairman about 3 months ago, the commission has secured 744 convictions. The federal government on Tuesday disclosed that Nigeria is currently off track concerning progress on achieving the Global Sustainable Development Goal sanitation target and is regrettably among those behind. It also stated that the country loses about $3 billion annually due to poor sanitation arising from the use of unsanitary or shared toilets and open defecation. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsef, will disclose this in Abuja at the National Workshop on Safety Managed Sanitation. However, stated that the government was working hard to tackle the identified concerns. The Sustainable Development Goal target 6.2 for the sanitation 6 to achieve by 2030 access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all and end open defecation, paying special attention to the needs of women and girls and those in vulnerable situations. We acknowledge that access to safely managed sanitation is not just a basic human right, but an essential foundation for social and economic development. Going to story from Labour, the Nigeria Labour Congress said on Tuesday that 200,000 naira minimum wage it earlier proposed to the federal government was no longer realistic, considering the country's current economic situation. The Congress, which spoke through its National Vice President, Tomi Etim, was reacting to Tuesday's inauguration of the Minimum Wage Committee by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Etim, in an exclusive interview, emphasized that the Congress would base its national minimum wage negotiation on the current economic reality rather than what it earlier proposed. When correspondents asked whether there was a minimum figure the Congress would take along to the committee, Etim said, "We are not going there with a fixed amount, but definitely not 200,000 naira. By the time we get there, we will decide based on the socio-economic situation. That's what we are going to base our national minimum wage discussion and negotiation on." The federal government had earlier charged the 37-man wage committee to hasten its deliberations and submit its recommendations promptly, while directing the Ministry of Finance to ensure its adequate funding and calling for collective bargaining in good faith, emphasizing contract adherence, even as he urged committee members to consult outside their ranks. Moving on, Afenifere has passed a vote of confidence in the Pa Ayo Adebanjo leadership of the socio-political organization. This is just as the group affirmed Oba Oladipo Olaiton as deputy leader of the organization. At the meeting of the organization held at the Isoya Ogbo residence of Pa Ayo Adebanjo on Tuesday, the motion for a vote of confidence was moved by a leader of Afenifere in Oyo State, Dr. Bola Adetunji, and this was seconded by Professor Akinyemi Onigbede. The meeting presided over by the Afenifere deputy leader, Oba Oladipo Olaiton, also had in attendance Afenifere stalwarts that included Chief Shola Ebuseni, Senator Benga Kaka, Senator Femi Okunromu, Mokaji Boyega Adejumo, Chief Shukbo Shonibare, Chief Bolajuku Doati, and Mr. Dele Farutimi. In Ondo State, the Ondo security outfit codenamed Amotekun has deployed 100 of its personnel to the neighboring Ekiti state to aid the release of the 5 students of Apostolic Faith's group of schools in Ekiti and 4 staff members abducted on Monday. Amotekun commander in the state, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, said in Akure that the security outfit was acting on the order of the Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Adeleye said this while parading 31 suspected criminals around the state arrested. According to him, the governor of our dear state, Honorable Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has ordered that we deploy Amotekun personnel to work with their counterpart in Ekiti to secure the release of students and arrest the killers of the monarchs. A couple of hours ago, we had an unfortunate incident in Ekiti, and the governor of Ondo State directed we moved in the interest of brotherliness to assist in the insecurity, to assist in the security situation in Ekiti State. We deployed 100 personnel to assist Ekiti Command. Moving on to the next story, Ogun State. The Ogun State Community Social Orientation and Safety Corps, codenamed Soul Safe Corps, has rescued a 17-year-old person, Otufu Moses, who was allegedly kidnapped on Monday. The father of the victim, Sunday Eboy, was said to have on Tuesday reported the incident to the Soul Safe Corps, explaining that his son was kidnapped when he went to ease himself at the back of the house. His kidnappers, who were suspected to be members of the neighborhood, were said to have demanded 1.5 million naira. This was contained in a press statement issued on Wednesday from the office of the State Commander of the Corps, Soji Gonzalo, through the Office of Director of Information and Public Relations, Maruf Yusuf. You are watching the world news from BGI Television. Next to come. A female soldier attached to illicit Sakras Barracks, Division 2, Ogun State, Lance Corporal Philomena Namoko, who alleged that her senior colleagues had been making an act to her following her refusal to give in to their sexual advances, who was allegedly beaten and sent to the Yaba Psychiatric Hospital following her interview. In the interview, Philomena had spoken about how some of her superiors made some advancement, claiming that she had written several letters seeking a voluntary discharge from the army, but was not granted. Confirming that she was beaten and bundled to a psychiatric hospital, the only child of a soldier, Emmanuel Brown, on Monday evening that he got the information that his mother was done with an act on Sunday night. On getting to the MRS this morning, as of Monday, he discovered that they had taken her to the Yaba Psychiatric Hospital. I was confused as to what happened to her to warrant her taken to a psychiatric hospital. Corroborating Brown's account, Philomena's lawyer, Kayode Oshiemi, told correspondent that his client was done with an act senior officer on Monday, alleging that they lied that she had a mental disorder to cover up for the act they've done on her. to the next story. The officers Inspector Taiwo Kolawole, Inspector John Obe, and Corporal Idowu Sunday, all attached to Ijebu-Ife Division, the Nigeria Police have dismissed 3 officers over alleged armed robbery and extortion in Ondo State, while 1 civilian, Adesina Matthew, involved in as the driver. The suspects were paraded alongside 27 other suspected kidnappers and armed robbers and cultists at the state headquarters in Elewero, Abeokuta on Tuesday. The State Police Commissioner, Abiodun Alamutu, during the parade noted that the 3 police officers and a civilian were arrested following a report by one Kashimawo Emmanuel, a student at the Tai Sholari University of Education, Taswet Ijago Ijebuode. He explained that a complainant reported that while he was driving a Toyota Venza, 4 armed men accosted him. He said one of them wore a round-neck police outfit while the others were in mufti. Alamutu said in the process one of them fired a shot into the air, and that was when he complied. He said that during an investigation into the incident, 2 other complainants who were victims at the various times identified the suspect as their assailant. Alamutu said the policemen had gone through an orderly room and had been subsequently dismissed. Before we end the news, here comes the foreign story. The withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger from West Africa bloc ECOWAS is a carefully considered decision in response to hopes for total sovereignty, Burkina Faso Prime Minister has said. The 3 countries, which have shared tense ties with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, since military coup, announced their decision to leave in a joint statement on Sunday. This decision responds to legitimate expectations, concerns and aspirations of our people to see their countries go in an irreversible way towards their total sovereignty. Burkinabe Prime Minister Apollone George Simse Kialem de Tembele said after a cabinet council late on Tuesday. It is a carefully considered decision. Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger were founding members of ECOWAS in 1975. But the bloc suspended all 3 following military coup that overthrew elected civilian governments. It imposed heavy sanctions on Mali and Niger, which are still in force against Niamey. The coup took place in Niger in July, Burkina Faso in 2022, and Mali in 2020. Finally, sports. Nigeria Super Eagles are the highest-ranked team left at the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations going on in Abidjan. This follows South Africa's shock 2-0 win over Morocco on Tuesday night. Before the game, 4 of the top 5 teams on the continent had been sent packing. Senegal, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia all fell by the wayside. Morocco, the first African country to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup, were heavy favourites to beat the Bafana who struggled to make it past the group stage. But second-half goals from Evidence Makpokwa and Teboho Mokoena saw South Africans claim a memorable win over the Atlas Lions. With Morocco's elimination, Nigeria are now the best-ranked team at the AFCON ongoing. At the start of the competition, the Super Eagles were the 6th best team. Of the 8 teams left, Josep Peseira's men are the highest-ranked team according to the FIFA rankings, followed by Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, South Africa, Congo DR, Cape Verde, Guinea, and Angola. With the sports story, we've come to the end of today's world news. Before we go, some headlines. Reps Speaker sends tough message to Tinubu, reveals ministers he should sack. Efcc traces 7 billion naira suspected fraud proceeds to religious body. Nigeria loses $3 billion to poor sanitation, FG. 200,000 naira minimum wage no longer realistic, LP, that's Labour Party. Afenifere passes vote of confidence in Pa Ayo Adebanjo. We're brought to you from the sports. Super Eagles become top-ranked team after Morocco's exit. For update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Baba Gbagede Imo Television. Can you subscribe and click on the notification bell, select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Gbagede Imo with Alawiye Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of your goods and services, coverage of event and function, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal.